Hello all and welcome to The Writer's Block, a scripted podcast where we let our production team's imaginations run wild to bring listeners new tales from different places, times, and even universes. For our maiden voyage, we bring you the saga Hench, a story from the point of view of some of the most key players of the superhero genre, the Henchmen. Now come with us on their journey of finding out what exactly would happen if a group of henchmen decided to unionize against their supervillain. So find a nice spot to sit back and relax and get ready, because here comes episode 1, Get Henched.
A beautiful bank in the center of Midtown is full of individuals going about their business. Through the front door enters a man dressed in a three-piece suit, complete with monocle, top hat, and cane. He walks a few steps in, stops and looks around, and then proceeds up to the bank teller.
Good afternoon, sir. How can I help you today?
I'd like to make a hefty withdrawal.
The swindler draws a revolver, cocks the hammer back, and aims it at the teller.
Ah!
Now,
The swindler aims at the ceiling.
everybody get on the ground, or my associate, little Jimmy here, will get you fitted for a body bag.
On the opposite side of the room, a man removes his coat, revealing a sawed-off shotgun and a small duffel bag.
Yeah, that's right. You better listen up. Here you go, boss.
He throws the duffel bag at the swindler.
Jimmy, God damn it. This isn't big enough for a bank heist. You couldn't fit 10 bars of gold in here. The straps are gonna break. Look. Useless. God, it's so hard to find good help these days.
He aims the gun back at the teller.
All right, where were we? That's right, gold bricks only, and make it snappy.
Lying face down on the ground, the security officer looks up and sees Jimmy has his back turned to him. He sees his chance and he leaps to his feet and draws his gun.
All right, hold it, swindler. Drop the gun, or I'm gonna paint the walls with your buddy's brains.
Go ahead. Do it.
What?
He's a henchman. I have dozens more. Look.
Little Jimmy drops to the floor.
See? No skin off my back.
The swindler turns back as the bank teller walks up and hands him the duffel bag.
It's all I could fit. It's such a small bag.
Oh, you did great.
The swindler turns around. The security officer is looking straight at him, gun down by his side, in absolute awe of what he's seen. The swindler glares at him and then takes aim.
Whoa!
The swindler fires.
Out of bullets.
The swindler struts out the front door.
Pleasure doing business.
In a port along the Hudson River, two henchmen, Brick Masterson and Craig Stevens, walk the roads of shipping containers, looking for the one the swindler sent them to find.
Did you hear about little Jimmy? Yeah, I heard he was in pretty bad shape after working that bank job last week. He's sleeping with the fishes now. Poor guy. He was going to school to be one of them butt doctors. You mean a proctologist? Yeah, one of them. Poor kid was just working with the swindler to make it through medical school. Hey, man, watch what you're doing there. We thought yous was Crab McGaw, coming to dish out some vigilante justice on some hard-working Americans.
Relax, boys. It's just old Spunk. I found the shipping container the swindler sent us to get. Come on, you lunks. It's right over here.
Hey, yo, Spunk. You heard about little Jimmy?
Yeah, I heard he died on the operating table. He got shot up pretty bad. Swindler said the security officer just opened fire. Pow, pow. And then Jimmy just hit the floor.
Fucking hell. That's the fourth henchman in the last 2 weeks. Henchman is starting to become a pretty dangerous profession.
Yeah, it's all these heroes in that high-tech super armor while we're still walking around in street clothes.
Oh, come on. It's not all that bad. Every day brings a new challenge, a new adventure.
Yeah, if that adventure includes a dude swinging around a metal, human-sized crab claw, you could count me right out.
Y'all got any plans this weekend?
Nah, none at all. I'm doing one of them staycations with the old broad. Go and get some good R&R.
Sounds more like someone can't show their face around the lackeys no more. What'd you do this time, Spunk?
Not then. Okay, well, maybe I started something. with somebody because he kept smacking while he was eating, But he deserved it.
Oh, really?
He did. And when I politely asked him to stop, he started smacking louder.
And so you just...
And so I grabbed his burger and I took a bite, smacked my lips right in his face, and then spit it back on him.
And then he...
Oh, and then he beat the shit out of me.
So, you can't go back out of shame.
Yeah, bingo. Oh, well, what do you guys got going on this weekend?
I'm taking Gammy to Tonio Pepicalino's for a birthday. Okay, now there we go. That's a weekend plan. How'd you manage that, Mr. Big Shot? That place, it has a guest list a mile long. You're a henchman. Right place, right time, I guess. I finished moving some product for the boss, stopped into a little pub for lunch. Next thing I know, this guy sits next to me and we start chatting. Then he finds out that I'm from London.
Whoa. You're from Brooklyn.
Yeah, man, you weren't even born when your parents left London. You were in the womb. Womb. What are you talking about, mate? Listen to my London accent.
It's a convincing impression.
Impression? This is how I talk. Oh, really? Well, then say, I'm walking here.
Instantly, sweat starts beaming down Brick's neck.
Come on, we're waiting.
Fine. I'm walking here. Point made. You're only a Brit when it's convenient for you.
All right. Are we done with this? Brick is a faux Brit, and now we gotta carry these crates of C4 back to the truck. Craig, you got the key?
Yeah.
Craig puts the key in the lock. The lock plummets to the ground, making impact with a louder sound than expected. The three look down at the lock and wonder how something so small made such a loud sound when it hit the dirt. The group looks up and sees Krav Maga, the infamous protector of New York, looking down upon them.
You know how this will end. Stop what you're doing now, and I will be merciful.
Suddenly, a loud mechanical clang rings out and the crane hook begins to lower.
Finally, it took you long enough to show up.
Krav Maga looks up, sees Swindler standing on the crane.
I've been standing on this crane for hours. I'm a little offended I wasn't your top priority tonight. Well, anyways.
The Swindler pushes a button. Suddenly, a net encompasses the shipping container, swallowing up Krav Maga and the henchman.
What the fuck?
Krav Maga uses his claw to grab onto the net. He starts climbing his way up the side, closer and closer to the Swindler.
I know what you were after, Swindler, and I can never allow you to have it.
Oh, but Krabby. So naive. You really believe that? That was just a little chum in the water to get you out of the picture.
The crane begins turning. When it stops, the hero and the henchman are dangling over the river.
That bloke's gonna drop us in the fucking Hudson.
Yeah, it sure seems like it.
Spunk begins to roll over in the net to face Brick. He feels something in his pants pocket. Then he remembers.
Oh, would you looky here? Forgot I swiped one of those little utility knives. It's got everything. A saw, bottle opener, scissors. Man, my old bra laughed at me when I brought this thing home. Well, who's laughing now, Caroline?
Start cutting the fucking rope.
Spunk starts cutting as the crane begins to raise them higher and higher.
Well, Krabby, it's been a lot of fun working with you over the years. Before I let you go, I've always been curious. You got clothes under that crab armor, or are you just freeballing it?
Krav Maga looks him in the eyes. Before he can even get a breath out, a loud bang rings out through the night air. The net begins to plummet towards the water. The container leads the fall. Everyone is violently thrown against it when it makes impact. The container begins to slowly sink and pull everything in the net down with it.
God damn it, Spunk. Look at my leg. There's a knife in it.
Oh shit, Craig. Hold on, let me pull it out. Biting some leather or something.
Oh, yeah. Definitely got some broken ribs. Maybe a little internal bleeding over here.
Krav Maga leaps into the water and grabs the net in his claws, but it's too thick to cut.
Son of a mollusk.
The Swindler copter flies into the chaos. It hovers above the crane and drops down a ladder. The Swindler climbs on.
So long, Krav Maga.
The shipping container is starting to fill up with water, faster and faster, pulling the henchman down to the bottom of the river.
Spunk, how far are you getting through that rope?
Scissors ain't too sharp. I'm doing my best over here.
Well, Well, then try the saw and hurry the fuck up.
Spunk finds and flicks out the saw blade from his utility tool. As fast as he can, he starts sawing the rope, as the net pulls taut around them to bring them to their death.
All right, got it. Come on, let's get out of here, boys.
The henchman wiggles through the hole and seemingly out of danger. They swim to the shore and pull themselves up on the rocks.
Do you think that really killed Crab Macaw? I mean, do you think he's dead? Who cares? The swindler uses his bait and drops us in the river to die. Spunk hadn't found that knife and we'd all ended up like little Jimmy. Yep, we're expendable. Been like that since the beginning. I'm tired of just having to blindly follow the swindler's orders.
That's henching, Brick. You do whatever the boss tells you to do.
Brick looks out on the water, deep in thought. Suddenly, a pain shoots through his body. He collapses to the ground, blacking out. Brick begins to open his eyes. The bright lights take some getting used to. Once his eyes adjust, he realizes he is in a hospital. He looks over and he sees his grandmother, Gammy, sleeping in a chair next to his hospital bed. Brick extends his arm to tap her shoulder.
Gammy, wake up!
Oh, Brick, darling, you're awake.
She jumps up to hug him.
How long was I out for this time?
You got out of surgery a few hours ago. You tore up your liver pretty bad. Thank heavens for Craig and Spunk, though. They got you to the hospital right away.
Dr. Weltman enters the room looking through a stack of charts.
Oh, good. You're finally awake. We got you all patched up. You should be ready to go in just a few days.
Thank goodness. Oh, thank you, Doctor.
Ivana Sutherland, an administrative-looking woman, walks in the room.
Now, there was one issue with the paperwork when you were dropped off. Your medical insurance information was left off.
I don't have medical insurance.
Well, do you have a job?
Yeah.
They don't offer health insurance?
Nope.
Oh.
Sutherland turns around and gives Weltman a look. He scans Brick's charts, then back up to Brick and Gammy.
Oh, well, you know what? It looks like I was looking at the wrong chart. Mr. Brick, you're being discharged. Effective immediately.
Are you sure? Doesn't a lacerated liver require observation to make sure it doesn't bleed again?
Sutherland spins back around to look at the Mastersons.
Well, if he had medical insurance...
Ridiculous. Brick, I'll start to pack your things. Let's get you home.
Brick begins to think to himself.
What are we gonna do? I'm tired of being used as bait, and the unpaid medical debt is stacking up quite high. Change. There needs to be change. But what?
A day passes. Brick starts feeling well enough to start moving around the house and help his Gammy with the daily chores. Laundry, dishes, cooking, and dusting. The two sit down for some lunch.
You seem like you're starting to feel better.
Brick stares at his sandwich, silent.
Now, boys, let Brick eat his food in peace. How is it, Brick? Brick? You in there?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Gammy. I've just been thinking about work.
Any idea when you'll be going back? We could definitely use the cash around here. I've been having used the turkey baster to empty the dishwasher.
Yeah, I've found a couple of gigs bringing some quick cash. Mr. Cabby needs his house painted. Mrs. Gronson needs her lawn cut.
Honey, I was talking about going back to henching.
Oh, right, yeah. I was thinking about that. Maybe I won't go back. Maybe I could try getting a different job.
Brick Minister Claude Masterson. Being a henchman is in your blood.
Right, but Gammy, wouldn't it be nice?
Your grandfather was on the rabble rousers crew in London when they heisted the Queen's crown.
Right. And how
Got
we
us
got
to the United States
because
when
my
your father joined the firebrands and his crusade to warm the whole earth.
I know it, Gammy.
Henching is in your blood. It's been very good to this family. You must continue the tradition.
Right, but Gammy, wouldn't it be nice to have health insurance so that we're covered when these bad things happen at work?
Nonsense. I will nurse you back to health, just like I did with the 2 generations before you.
A lot of good that did them. They both died before they were 55.
Brick!
What? Gammy, you aren't a nurse. You worked at Hallmark selling greeting cards.
Gammy sits back in her chair.
I'm sorry, Gammy. I didn't mean to be so cruel.
No. You're right. I am not a nurse. But as long as I am here, you will be cared for.
But what about when you're not here? It's not just all the medical stuff. I mean, every week the swindler pays us a different amount, and every paycheck is less than the last.
I suppose it would be nice to have some consistent income.
And another thing, he should be the one that fights that superhero. I'm tired of getting beaten to a pulp fighting that crustacean. He has a metal exoskeleton. What does the swindler expect us to do?
Well, Brick, that's the job. You do what the boss tells you.
That's what I've been told.
Outside of Gammy's house, Brick mows the grass as a van pulls up. It stops and out walks a swindler, cane, top hat, and all. Brick stops a lawnmower.
Brock, how are you feeling, my boy?
It's Brick.
Oh, of course. Brick.
What are you doing here, swindler?
Just came to talk. Let's go inside. Not good for a supervillain to be seen in the suburbs.
Sure.
When Brick turns around to face the house, Gammy is looking through the curtains and she runs to open the door.
Oh, please, Mr. Swindler, come in. Come in. I'll put a pot of coffee on. And I just got a fresh pound cake from the bakery.
See, Brick, that's how you greet somebody.
The swindler enters Gammy's home, followed by an apprehensive Brick.
The three take a seat on Gammy's one couch, with Brick stuck in the middle between them.
Now, Brick, your Gammy called me and told me that you were thinking of getting out of the hench business? Is that true?
Gammy, why did you call him?
Brick, you were talking crazy the other day. Stop being a henchman. What would your father think? Your grandfather?
Well, look where it got them. They're dead.
Oh, again with this. Come on, they didn't die from henching. Your grandfather got shot trying to smuggle pocket aces into a poker game, and your father choked on a hot dog at a carnival.
See, non-hench related. Now, Brick, about getting back to work. I've been planning a big caper. I need all hands on deck.
See, Brick? A big score.
That's right, Gammy. A big score. We're going to steal all of the gas off of Manhattan.
Steal the what?
Oh, there's no money in that.
We're going to take all the gasoline on the island of Manhattan and dump it in the river, killing all the crabs.
Gammy and Brick share a quizzical look.
You want to steal all the gasoline, dump it in the river, just to kill all the crabs.
Precisely. Think of it as a reverse homage to my fallen nemesis, Krav Maga.
A reverse homage. That is interesting.
No, it's not. It's insane, Gammy. This is what I was talking about the other day. These stupid little plans that put us henchmen in harm's way for no payday.
Now, Brick, stupid plans might be a bit much.
No.
Know what?
No. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do your stupid caper.
The swindler gets up and walks over to the window and starts staring out at the city. Gammy puts a motherly hand on Brick's shoulder.
Brick, honey.
No, Gammy, it's all right. I do make the henchmen go along with all of my plans, not thinking twice about how many might not come back or could be hospitalized.
Don't forget the lack of payment.
Yes, how could I? Brick, do you know why I can do that?
Why?
The swindler spins around, pointing a finger in Brick's face.
Because I'm a supervillain, that's why. You are a henchman. Your job is to do what I tell you to do. You know why you're a henchman? because you can't do anything else. You have no other purpose to society. You don't pay taxes. You don't vote. You just mooch off your grandmother and botch my... Hey! Pipe down! Now this is gonna go one of two ways. The first, you come back to work like a good henchman, and we forget you ever had the thought of leaving. The second, well, Brick, I can't have a former henchman just walking around the streets, knowing my hideouts, my passwords.
Now, if you think that you can just come into this house and threaten my grandson...
It's no threat, Gammy. It's a fact.
Mein Kunz!
A rumble is heard in the basement. In a split second, 3 German shepherds bound into the room into Gammy's side.
Get that gut out of my grandson's face! Now!
You know what, Gammy? You're absolutely right.
The swindler turns the gun on Gammy.
Scheiße!
Fine. Yes, I'll join back.
The swindler releases the hammer.
Excellent. Glad we could reach an accord. Now, I'll just grab a little piece of pound cake here. On second thought, it's all just empty calories. Now, Brick, go meet Greg and, Splunk. Yes, Splunk. Whatever their names are, at Lackey's. They'll fill you in on the plan. I'll see myself out.
The swindler strolls out of the house to his waiting car and drives off.
Brick? Brick?
Brick gets up from the couch, walks to the bathroom, and slams the door.
Oh, Brick, I'm sorry. This isn't how I thought it would go.
Bloody hell!
A couple hours go by, and Brick comes down the stairs dressed ready to go into the world.
All right, Gemmy. I'm going to go meet Craig and Spunk.
Are you hungry, Brick? I'm making lasagna. You could take a piece.
Oh, no thanks, Gemmy. I'm going to go pick up a sandwich at Mr. Stepantopoulos' store.
Oh, alrighty then. Well, you be safe, dearie. I'll save you a piece of 3-layer cake for when you get back.
Oh, thanks, Gemmy. I'll see you later.
Bye, sweetheart.
Brick walks out the house and starts heading down the street. He takes in all the action around him as he walks the Brooklyn sidewalk. Passers-by, smells coming from all the different restaurants around him. Brick's eyes catch the disturbance, a group standing outside the post office.
More vacation time! More pay! Or you ain't getting your mail today!
More vacation time! More pay! Or you ain't getting your mail today!
Brick walks past him but pays it no mind as he enters the Stepantopoulos shop.
Hey, Brick.
Hey, Malak.
Brick, how are things?
Hey, Mr. Stepantopoulos. Things are all right. Would make it better as a pastrami on a euro, fully dressed.
Sure thing. I'll get cooking.
You know, you got a pretty big protest going on outside. You think it might turn violent?
What, that? Violent? No, that's just the postal workers on one of their strikes.
A strike? You mean like at a bowling alley?
No, more like negotiations between the Postal Workers Union and the post office couldn't reach an agreement on raises and vacation time for the workers. So the workers, naturally, stopped working.
Postal workers? Union?
Oh, you messing with me, Brick?
Messing with you about what?
Unionizing.
Unionizing? I'm not sure what you mean, Mr. Stepantopoulos.
How can I put this? So, a union is where the employees of a business band together to make sure their bosses take care of them, you know? And set them up with benefits, raises of pay, clear work agreements. If the bosses don't give the workers what they want, well, the workers could go on strike and show the employees how much they're actually needed.
You know, boss, I've been feeling like you don't know how much you need us.
You thinking of unionizing? How much are you needed? Who's making the sandwiches here? No, where was I? Right. So, to prove that without them, the business can't operate. It's a thing of beauty, really. All the workers work as one to get what they want. Ah, America. Just like how all the ingredients in this sandwich...
Please, don't smell my sandwich again. Last time I couldn't eat it and had to throw it away.
You threw one of my sandwiches in the trash?
Yeah, I was cold and flu season. You put your nose right in that bread.
Take your sandwich. Come back in 2 weeks and think about how you insulted me by throwing my work in the trash.
Jesus, sorry.
Brick walks out of the store. He looks at the strike. One of the postal workers gets on the megaphone.
Hey, ho, ho. How are we supposed to pay for a bobo? Hey, ho, ho. How are we supposed to pay for a bobo?
Brick, pondering the commotion in front of him, takes a bite of his sandwich.
Huh. Unionizing. Novel idea, that.
Thanks for listening to our first installment of Hench. If you liked it and want to hear more stories like it, go ahead and subscribe, give us a like, and if you feel inclined to, leave us a review. Episode 2 will be out in 2 weeks. Get Hench was possible by the hard work of cast Ben Lilly as Brick Masterson, Craig Stevens, and the security guard, Greg Beaumont as Gammy and the Swindler, Bobby Como as Little Jimmy, Spunk, Dr. Weltman, and Mr. Stepantopoulos, Paul Stapp as the narrator, Sam Laufer as Crab Maga, the bank teller, and Malark, Hollis Johnson as Ivana Sutherland. Story and written by Paul Stapp, edited by Ben Lilly and Bobby Como. Sound wizardry by Bobby Como. And produced by Paul Stapp, Ben Lilly, Bobby Como, and Greg Beaumont. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see y'all in 2 weeks.